Welcome to this episode of CHS Wired. I'm Kayla Cortez.
And I'm Gabby Capiello. On this episode, we have some bad lip reading, we look into a unique independent study, and we sit down with an exceptional math student.
Minute to go, running the clock.
And then he's going to be fouled on a reach there. 30 seconds. We said this would be a thriller, and it's turned out to be everything we thought it would be.
Incredible.
Into front court now.
And that kid is just a special player.
Is he Mr. Basketball?
I think there's no way he can't be. So many people have made their claim or stamped, they got the stamp of approval on a Mr. Basketball when you do it at the biggest stage.
Yeah.
An incredible shot, the shot of a lifetime.
What a shot!
A shot for the ages. Wow.
That's like destiny. Is that like destiny or what? When the ball...
Incredible. That's what they're playing for.
Who will get that banner hanging? It will hang in their school for eternity.
Speechless.
Instant classic.
Just speechless. This game needs to be replayed over and over again.
Who really were the first skiers? John Morrison finds out.
Norwegians, of course, I'm half Norwegian, claim that they invented skiing, right? And the thing is, the Swedes claim the same thing. And the Finns.
Mark Jenkins, a nationally proclaimed adventure author from Laramie, Wyoming, comes to Cody to give his new presentation, Last of the First Skiers.
It's essentially about a culture that still lives on skis. They hunt on skis, they raise cattle, chase after cattle on skis.
What makes Mark's presentation unique, though, is his journey to Mongolia and his personal experience with the skiers.
I'd gone to Norway and started studying the history of skiing, and I heard that there was some skiing in China, so I started doing research and found a guy named Nils Larsen. And Nils had been to the Altai 6 times, and he invited me to go with him.
The people of the Altai Mountains in Mongolia are currently believed to be the world's first skiers, and still do things today the way they did them in 8000 BC. Although it may be primitive, the men still craft their own skis and effectively hunt on them.
Well, we tracked elk on skis, and eventually weapons are illegal in China. Guns are illegal to own, so they actually lasso the elk. They ski down on the elk and lasso them. So they drop their pole, they've got a rawhide lasso, and they lasso the elk. It was a very special and unique experience because I don't think the next generation will still be living on skis and hunting elk on skis. I think that the culture is changing very quickly. Many of those young people want to go to factory towns and work. So this is the last generation of actually ancient skiers.
The essence of these people's culture, skiing, is one that is slowly fading with time, and is what makes Mark's experience and presentation truly unique. This is John Morrison for CHS Wired.
Mr. Larsen's independent study is unique this year. Leslie Burr brings you the story.
Students in Mr. Larsen's independent study are studying quail with hands-on experience.
We usually start off by coming in here wondering if more have hatched, but then we check them, see how they're doing. We make sure they're fed and have water, and we usually have to clean some of them off.
Right now we've kind of just started the weighing them, so we just weigh them every couple days, and it's kind of interesting to see which ones have gotten bigger than the other ones.
Quail are extremely sensitive when they first hatch.
When they're first hatched, you need the temperature to be warm because it has a yolk sac and it has to absorb it to get its nutrients at the beginning of the life of it.
It was very cheap for Mr. Larsen to conduct this experiment.
For 50 eggs was $15, and then to ship them was about the same.
The incubator was a huge part of this process.
So the incubator we have works pretty good. It stayed pretty stable, and then they have to hatch at 100 degrees. There's a whole bunch of variables. So you have the temperature when they ship them, and I always get them this time of year so that it's cold out. And then whether they're fertilized at the farm or not. And so I ordered 50, hoping that I'd get about probably 20 to hatch. We only got, 9, 8, something like that.
Eggs that don't hatch will probably break open and see where they were at, if they were anywhere in the process of developing.
Not only was this educational, but it was also entertaining.
I got to name one of them Benjamin because he's a Benjamin Button quail, and I thought that was awesome.
It was really cool of Mr. Larson to buy the quail for us because it was like a really cool opportunity to get to watch them hatch and stuff. It was like really beneficial to our independent study.
This is Leslie Burr for CHS Wired.
Cody High School's Western Literature students participated in a writing competition on cowboy ethics. Catherine Morrison has the details.
Cody High School English teacher, Mr. Stonehouse, added cowboy ethics to his Western literature curriculum this school year.
Cowboy ethics are really designed on common sense from the good old days of true work ethics that apply to, the old original cowboys.
Mr. Stonehouse assigned his students to write an essay incorporating a personal story with one of the 10 cowboy ethics to enter in a statewide contest.
In addition to writing about their own personal life, to also talk about how that message could be good for other people or for society.
Tasha Pearson wrote about cowboy ethic number 1, live each day with courage, relating it to her personal experience with a car accident.
The doctors didn't know if I was going to make it, so I had to tell myself that I was going to make it because I was kind of the only person telling myself that at the time. I have to be able to look fear in the eye and just say, hey, I'm going to do it. And that's what living each day with courage is.
Thomas Callahan was awarded second place, having written about cowboy ethic number 8, talk less, say more.
The reason I chose to write about it was because it's something that I thought, personally, the whole world could learn from, but also something that I could easily write about how it applies to my life.
Third place was Jordan Schulte, who wrote about his grandfather, who is also kind of a cowboy and a rancher out in the Dakotas. So all of those, they all had a completely different take on it, but they were all very, very solid essays.
This is Kat Morrison for CHS Wired.
Congratulations to the 3 winners. And now, Abby Morales shares her opinion.
In this year's Wyoming legislative session, 2 bills were introduced of which I disagree with. Senate File 109 and House Bill 111. Senate File 109, which is sponsored by our Senator Coe, would allow teachers who pass the required training, meet the qualifications, and have a valid concealed carry permit to carry a gun in school. They would have to keep the gun on them or in a lockbox and also be responsible for the purchase and ownership of the weapon. On the other hand, House Bill 111 would allow local school boards to enable teachers and other school employees, also with a valid concealed carry permit, to carry guns at school. Now, what does employees mean? This bill would allow our superintendent, assistant superintendent, principal, vice principal, teachers, guidance counselors, librarians, teachers' aides, coaches, business managers, bus drivers, janitors, volunteers, and other employees on contract with the school district the opportunity to carry a gun in school. Fortunately, both of these bills died because of a lack of time. However, Wyoming's legislature is not the only one with a similar mindset. Colorado, South Dakota, Alabama, and California are among the 18 states which allow adults to carry guns on school grounds. Safety in school has become a national priority. I always hear permitting guns in school would make the school less of a target. Some say that if Sandy Hook Elementary School had armed officers, the shooting could have been prevented. Yet there were 2 armed officers at Columbine High School, and they were not able to stop 2 students from killing 15 people and injuring 21. Guns in school will only increase violence and create an anxious setting. We all want to do something to stop violence in schools, but guns are not the answer. Our police station is literally 1 block away from Cody High School. Actually, I believe teachers and employees with guns are not necessary in most places in the United States. In fact, currently there are around 20,000 full-time school resource officers. I believe arming more employees is a greater risk than only having a resource officer permitted to carry a gun. With Senate File 109, teachers would only need a valid concealed carry permit and 16 hours of training every 5 years. While Officer Harris, our school resource officer, is required to have 14 to 16 hours of training every month. In 2010, there were 98,000 public schools in the United States, with approximately 50 million children enrolled in grades kindergarten through 12th. Imagine having armed teachers and employees. What if they misread students? Arming schools would be riskier than unarmed. Just last month, a maintenance worker at an East Texas school accidentally shot himself during a firearms training. And just 2 weeks ago, an employee assigned to patrol a school in New York City was fired for accidentally firing his gun in the hallway during school hours. Randy Wingard of the U.S. News says, "We must have safe sanctuaries, not armed fortresses. More guns are not the answer to gun violence. Let's say the bills passed. Governor Meade signed them and our school board approved them. Who is to say that our teachers and employees would want to carry a gun? I asked Cody High School employees if they would want to carry a gun had the bills passed. Only one employee and one teacher said they would carry a gun." This is Abby Morales for CHS Wired.
Wow, she has a very strong opinion. Now here's a new segment called Small Town Cop.
My name is Officer Anderson, and I'm a guardian of the law. I would say I do my job pretty well around here. I keep things picked up, tidy, and keep the kids in line. You know, it can be tough sometimes, and it can be scary. You gotta be tough, that's for sure. You don't have time to stop and think. You just gotta go. You just gotta be strong. Hardcore. You don't know what's coming out there. It's a dangerous world.
This job is no joke. You gotta stay in shape and you gotta be strong.
And it's gotta be ready. I would say that the kids love me. I mean, I help them, and feel like they appreciate my work around here.
Does Officer Harris do his job? Debatable, but you know, I kind of feel like he plays with tennis balls more than he does with doing his job. This eagle reminds me every day of why I do what I do and why I risk my life every day going into the job I love.
That's all. Thank you.
We have been hearing some peculiar things around Cody High School, and Caitlin Jacobs has decided to share them with you.
So I was at her house, and I winged, and she was mad. I didn't do anything. I just helped her peel the apple. I've seen 9 little rhinos.
Somebody is possibly pretty parched. Oh.
She bites all of it.
Stir fry. Yum.
Oh geez, apples. Ah!
Whatever. We
For
just
sure.
need soup and salad.
Yeah.
Announce the swan water for me. What perfect promises.
I hug wonderful vampire babies bravely.
Oh, monkey.
Wontons! Wontons right now! Right now! I'm gonna eat you.
Okay. Oh boy.
Bacon. I like it.
Oh.
Welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm Emma Berry. Congratulations to John Boudry for placing first at state wrestling tournament, as well as Max Dickerman in 5th, Corbin Adams in 3rd, and Ben Flickinger in 3rd. Cody High School's cheerleading season has come to an end. Annie Rum brings you the story.
Our CHS cheerleaders competed at state this last weekend in Casper, Wyoming.
We got 9th out of 14 teams, which isn't bad, but it's not the best. Scoring was a little weird. They scored really low this year compared to the past years that we've been there. So that was really disappointing to see us get a low score compared to the previous years of what we had gotten.
I don't know. I feel like we did everything pretty well. It just seems like we weren't what the judges wanted, I guess. But I guess we could have worked on our jumps and stuff more because they weren't as high, I guess, as they could have been.
Even though the outcome wasn't what they wanted, the team has grown very close this year.
I think we came together as a family. At the beginning of the year, we were really separated. We were in a lot of cliques, and we had our friends, and we came and we went. And towards the end of the year, we were always together. We were always hanging out together. Come state, in the hotel, we were always with each other in one room. So we grew as a family.
I wasn't really friends with people on the team except for like Kylie and Sonia and Trisha, and so I got to make a bunch of new friends.
Like, I guess we are a little disappointed that we got 9th, but it was still like, I'm proud of us because I know that we worked really hard to get there.
This is Annie Run for CHS Wired.
It's 57 years since Cody High School won a state basketball title. This year's team, under Coach Olenek, had the best shot since then. They played at the state tournament in Casper this weekend after winning regionals. Scout Vinoy was there.
It was 57 years ago, in 1957, that the CHS boys basketball team won a state championship. No team since then had earned that title. To inspire his boys, Olenek gave each of them a reminder of 1957.
He gave us a bottle of Heinz 57, and it was kind of a joke, but it symbolized that we hadn't won in 57 years, and if we did win, he was going to buy us all steaks, and the plan was to use the Heinz 57 sauce on the steaks. He said he has to drink the whole bottle of Heinz 57 himself.
After winning regionals, their first game at state was against Douglas. After trailing most of the game, the Broncs rallied in the fourth, winning 44-40. In the semifinal game against Star Valley, the Broncs didn't hesitate. They rolled over Star Valley 50-38. In the championship game against Glenrock, the Broncs ran into trouble because of Malay, number 0, a 6'5" post. At the end of the first quarter, the Broncs were down 15-7. However, in the second quarter, Malay gave his third foul and the half ended 25-25. With Malay on the bench the entire third quarter, the Broncs outscored Glenrock 10-17. With Malay back in the fourth quarter, Glenrock came within 3 points, but the Broncs stayed strong and ended the game 61-53. According to Nick Schmidt, a key to winning was containing Malay.
We just had to play help side, play as a team, and make sure anytime he got the ball, there was another guy there disturbing him, making sure he didn't get nothing easy.
This is Scout Benoit for CHS Wired.
Last show's movie quiz winner was Kellen Nielsen. He won the date package, which is 2 movie tickets, a popcorn, and 2 drinks.
Hello, I'm Emmett. I'm just going to come right out. I have no idea what's going on at all.
This week's movie quiz question is on the Lego Movie, directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. When the logo is being built, what is seen in the first few seconds standing on a few Lego blocks? If you know the answer, call extension 5125.
I only work in black, and sometimes very, very dark gray.
Thank you for watching this episode of CHS Wired. I'm Kayla Cortez.
And I'm Gabby Capiello. Remember, you can watch this episode and previous episodes at our website, chswired.tv.